Georgia Rose here from GeorgiaRoseConnection.com. Today is September 11th, and it's a very somber, very sad day for many of us. I live in a community about 50 minutes from New York City, so we felt the tragedy really deeply here in our area. That day was a day where many hearts were broken. And I want to talk today about remembering that day with honor. It would be really easy for us to be heartbroken today, and there are many people experiencing loss and grief. But I think that it's really important for us to try and stand to the light and try and keep the higher energies of that day uppermost in our mind and in our hearts. You know, there were obviously a lot of loss that day, a lot of grief. I myself had a very bad memory of not knowing where my own family members were for about 12 hours that day. And I also watched many of my friends and loved ones get phone calls where time after time and minute after minute we lost sons and fathers and husbands and wives and daughters and mothers. And so I've watched several children grow up without parents. I've watched people without spouses persevere from that day, and it was a great tragedy. But if we remember that day in totality, it was also a day where a lot of people survived, and a lot of people helped others survive. A lot of people came together in patriotism, in love. A lot of people persevered more than they ever thought they could and found strength beyond the capacity that they ever thought they had. That day also changed a lot of lives. I know it made me personally a lot more grateful for many things in my life, and that gratitude has carried me through many tragedies that have occurred since then. It was also a day of great pride and valor for many people. There were many, many people who helped others survive that day and helped others persevere and triumph. And I truly believe that we need to put that love, that unity, that strength, that pride, and that valor in our hearts today to honor all those who helped others survive and were heroes, and all of those who perished. And those are the emotions and those are the feelings that we need to really live in and dwell on, not the heartbreak. If we have our hearts broken again and again and again after these events and from these events, then we're stuck in that day in a really bad way. And we need to persevere so that we triumph over those emotions. Otherwise, the people who did those evil acts and the perpetrators have won, because now they've taken over our minds and hearts. And we don't want that to happen. So today, I want to remind you to try and live in that triumph, in the survivorship, in the unity, in the love, in the strength that a lot of people found that day. And I also want to send my condolences to everyone who has had a loss or an illness or a disability from that day that you deal with. My heart goes out to you, and I send you strength, and I send you love, and I send you healing. And I'd like us all to take a moment or two today, or try and keep in our minds all day, to send love and healing and strength to those people who are still living in the grief from that day. One of the things that I learned in my life is that the only antidote for grief is gratitude. So let's try and find some gratitude and be grateful in our hearts for those people who did help others survive, and those people who didn't perish, and those people whose strength gives us our freedoms today. Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning into my YouTube channel. I feel connected to each and every one of you, and I am grateful for this life support and the life support that I can give you. I welcome your comments and feedbacks. Try and make it a great day. Thanks.